Hello, everyone, and welcome back to You Are Your Business podcast. And I'm super excited today. I am joined with Leslie and Lauren, and they jumped on board for this crazy idea that I had. So I'm so excited that they're here. This is something I thought about doing for a year of having like a podcast type panel with different guests on, and we can like chat about what's happening with life and business and motherhood and all of the things. And I knew Leslie and Lauren were the two people that I wanted to be doing this with. So I'm so happy they said yes to
Yay,
me. And I
yay.
heard Chris Harder's podcast and he was doing this. And I loved hearing the feedback of, like a conversation and people like chatting
Mm,
about it. And as a listener, like I enjoyed that. So
cool.
here we are chatting today. So why don't we get started? Lauren, why don't you share kind of who you are and maybe how you help people?
Sure. I'm Lauren Murdoch, owner of Murdoch Marketing. I'd say I'm like somewhat more recent to the whole entrepreneurial world. So I feel like that whole like corporate to entrepreneur is very fresh in my mind. But yeah, I help people bring clarity to their marketing and grow their businesses. Thanks for
Mm.
having me. I'm so excited to do this.
Yay, love it. And I can appreciate that corporate journey to entrepreneurship because I made that leap, oh my God, like 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
Wow.
So I can, yeah, it still feels
Yeah.
fresh in my mind, even though it was a long time ago. So like I can empathize with that definitely too.
Hmm.
And
100%.
Leslie, hello.
Hi. So I'm Leslie Robertson. I am the owner and founder of Prime Personal Training Studio. So I'm a full-time personal trainer. I've been doing this for it's like 17 years now, which is crazy. I never thought I would be doing this full-time, have my own business. I initially went to school to become a teacher. And I did that for a short period of time until I realized it wasn't for me. And then personal training, I mean, it's a long story how I got into it, but basically through my own health and fitness journey and the effect that trainers had on my life and the trajectory of my health, I'm like, I have to do this and help people change their lives too. So yeah, it's been, well, I opened my own studio in 2014, but I've been working with people full time as personal trainer since 2008. So I see people in person. We have like a small boutique studio where it's me and three other trainers. So we do one-on-one and small group. And then I also have created a virtual gym, which I'm loving doing as well. And I do some online like health and lifestyle coaching as well. So yeah, and I'm also a mom like you guys, so that's super fun as well. So yeah, we're
Yes.
we're doing it all, but I wasn't corporate, but I was like a full-time teacher who found that it wasn't for her. And then after taking a little bit of time to figure out what my next step was, personal training like totally fell into my lap. And now here we are doing it and obsessed with helping people on their health journeys.
I didn't know you were
That's,
a teacher.
I know. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that either. I just
phys
always
ed
thought,
teacher.
well,
Mm-mm.
that makes sense too, because I saw you did like lifting and stuff like that. You posted like maybe a couple
Yeah,
of weeks ago
fitness
about that.
competition,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
marathons,
was
all the
crazy.
extreme things. That's me, Miss Extreme. But not anymore. Since becoming a mom, we can't be like that anymore, right? We have to be able to like put our hands in a little bit of everything all the time. So yeah, that's really evolved my fitness journey and focus a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking about like motherhood too, I know we were kind of chatting and briefly like offline before I started recording, but like are you guys finding like managing like business and motherhood? Because I know for myself, there's some days where I'm like, I just want to like lock myself in my room, like
And work, right?
and work and get what I need to
Yeah.
get done and
Yeah.
not be like the snack queen having to get like a
Oh my
thousand
God.
snacks and stuff like that.
Snacks.
So,
Freaking snacks.
Snacks. Snacks and bedtime, my two favorite things.
oh
Yes.
my God, I should have sent you that. Was it you that sent me the reel
Yeah.
about bedtime? Oh my God.
Oh
So I
yeah.
sent that to my husband too, this reel.
Mm.
I was like, absolutely. I'm like, it's a 2 hour process to get these children to go to sleep. It's ridiculous.
Oh, and we love them,
It's so true.
but
Yeah, we love it. But
Mhm.
it is like I do find this pull of like that's what I'm trying to figure out is like how do I organize my time and
Mm,
my schedule so that I am fully present when I'm with them versus like thinking about all the things that I want to get done. So I feel like
right.
that is the
I
biggest
Me
know.
too.
challenge.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, like just the whole, 9 to 3 goes by very, very fast. And
It's not enough time.
my daughter's 7, so she doesn't do after school. She has some sports and stuff like that. But I just feel like 9 to 3, I'm like, oh my God, I have 20,000 more things to do. But as a mom, a parent, it's like
Mhm.
I thought that, I could still have that 3 to 5 because she's 7, she's pretty independent, but
Yeah.
no, it's the snacks. It's
Yeah.
I'm bored,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Or watch me
okay.
do this, mommy. And they're doing like some cartwheel or like something, or like standing on one foot. You're like, amazing, great. Okay, I got to go back to work now. Like, yeah.
Right. Breaking
Yeah.
up fights. Like, yeah, and me too. Like so for me, it's like the being present, making the time, like managing, making sure my day set up so that I am calm and patient and present in the evening. Right. So it's definitely, we're still working, figuring things out. But I find like having a super supportive partner is like so key in this. I also find I have a babysitter. So like for example, she came over last night and I just like even having like one night a week where I like don't have to do it, like gives me some reprieve and like I'm like, okay, whew, like I can do this. So yeah, and I think for me, like my kids are 5 and 8. So I used to be obsessed with like you have to be in bed at 7:30 and then they would and then they get more angry. Where now I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? We're just gonna go to bed when we go to bed. And like just since like taking this like looking at the clock and like, you're not in bed yet. Like now
I know.
taking that like pressure off, it's like I enjoyed it a little bit more. And does he go to bed any later or earlier? Not really. It's kind of
It's
all
just
works
less
out.
time of you stressing.
That's
Yeah. I'm like, do
interesting.
I need to have is there anything I need to do right now? Yeah, but like it's fine. I'll relax while I'm sleeping. But like having a supportive partner is helpful, setting up my schedule so that I do have a little bit of time. Like with the business, I end work usually at 1 o'clock so that I can have some time to like do one or two things or not do things before the kids get home. Like I like to have dinner ready if I can. So, and I know this isn't relatable to every business or
Yeah.
every mom, but that's something that doing this for a while, I'm like, okay, I need to set up my day so I'm done at this time. I can get some admin work done and then have time to do the things so I'm not doing them while they're like coming in the door. It doesn't always end up perfectly, but I'm trying to align my life so that I'm calm and present and organized when the boys get home. So that's what I'm working towards. It's not perfect, but yeah, that's how I kind of manage the chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like I'm trying to, so I have, and I'm sure like lots of entrepreneurs who have been in business much longer than me are like, yeah, that's what we do. But like starting to organize my days. So like I'm doing specific things on Monday, Tuesday,
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
And then figuring out what those, like 1 to 2 main things are that I need to get done that
Yes.
day so
Yeah.
that when I am spending time with my kids, I'm not like, ugh,
Hmm.
like the overwhelm. And yeah,
Yes.
so I'm still in that process of figuring it out. I
Yeah.
definitely have days where I'm just like, like slapped in the face with the overwhelm, like, and it's
Totally.
crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm finding those little things are helping a
That's
lot to
good.
be like, at the beginning, I was like, oh, I can get these 5 million things done in 9 to 3. And then you just feel like you failed.
Got
Absolutely. One,
nothing done. Yeah.
then you're just spinning your wheels. And what I found helpful too is to start like checking my emails and like my Slack or like Voxer messages like certain times of the day.
Mm,
Because I used to be checking like all the time as you're like
Yeah.
working on a task and then you're checking and then you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm being pulled to like respond to this or I've looked at that, so I
so
better
true.
respond to it. And I feel like it's like complete split focus. And I think that people are like, it's okay that we don't respond right away, but we've created this expectation that like I need to respond instantly because somebody sent me a message. So I
Totally.
found putting that boundary, I've even turned the
Yeah.
notifications off on my
Mm.
phone right now because I
Nice.
was getting so overwhelmed. I was on a call last week with part of Amanda's like Monarch group, and I was like, guys, I think I need a business phone because I'm like, I'm stressing out
Oh,
right now
Mm.
because I'm getting these messages. And I
that's
was
a
like,
good
oh,
idea.
wait a minute. I can just turn the notifications off on my phone right now
Totally.
and not get a business phone at this point in my
Yeah.
life. But like,
Yeah.
I think it's recognizing
Mm.
like some of those boundaries that we need to put in too,
Boundaries.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I find if I even just put my phone in the other room, like if I really need to, especially if I'm writing or editing,
Yeah.
um, I really find just putting my phone in the other room, like I can still access certain things on my computer if, there was an emergency, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to just sit back for a second and then pick up your phone and you're completely distracted versus
Totally.
if it's gone,
Yeah.
you can't do it. And it's such a small thing, but it helps a
Yep.
lot.
That's good.
That's a good.
I like the business phone idea. That's great. Yeah.
Well, because I have some clients that have like my phone number that like text me sometimes too, right? But like I opened
Mm,
up that when I first started working with them. So I'm like in a place now, like that's kind of the expectation, right? But I'm
Right.
like, I want to kind of shift that. So I think for my own business, that's been like a bit of a
mm,
working pain at, I would say, kind of to like work through. And I think the other thing too is like recognizing the season of business we're in. Like when I see people
mm.
online being like, I get up at 5 a.m. and I get all my work done, and I'm like I'm not in that season. If I'm getting up at 5 a.m., so are my kids because they're going to hear me in the house, and then now I'm getting nothing
You're like,
done. So
Mom.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't have that in me as much as I would love to. Like my thing right now is I'm trying to get to bed at a good time.
Same
So,
fair.
here.
Yes.
So hard.
but yeah, I found Les when you posted about going, like getting your babysitter and going to a coffee shop for an hour, I was like, again, that seems so simple, but I was like, that is genius.
I
Yeah, that's what I
know.
did last
I
night. I was
have
at
to
my
do that.
studio. Yeah, for 2 hours. I run an outdoor fitness class on Tuesday nights. And then my babysitter was here and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be home at 9:30. Okay. So I just literally sat completely undistracted and I got all these things done that I kept putting off and were like on my mind. So yeah, once a
Yeah.
week I do that. And Sunday, Saturday mornings I'll get up early and I mean, my kids don't get up at 5, but they're a little bit older. But and even just
Yeah.
doing like 30 minutes or an hour of like, what are the things I need to just get done? I find that really helpful too. And like, of course, as you guys know, you do this too, is like prioritizing my health. Like, if I don't get my
Yeah.
workout done, I'm a psychopath. Like, I have to, even if it's 30 minutes, like, I get that workout and I'm like, okay, doesn't matter what else happens today. Like, I have done that. And like
It just
having my
provides
meals
so
ready.
much clarity. Like I
Yeah.
think doing that workout,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
It just you're like, I feel refreshed. I've let out that like anxious, frustrated, like angry, whatever
Stop.
type of energy, pissed off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely like any
Yeah.
type of pissed off at life, kids, conversations, whatever, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
The movement's
Mhm.
key for me. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
good question.
Can
And you
I
were
ask?
saying, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to ask what you guys, because I feel like this is something that I need to build a routine into is that like Sunday or prepping for your week. Because I
Mm,
feel like I get that if I had an hour or two on Sunday to like prep or like figure out what the meals are
yeah.
Yeah.
and like even just prep my calendar, look at my calendar, um it would help me so much. And I
Yeah.
realize I realize that all it takes is me saying I need that and doing it,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
but I do feel this guilt around like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the time with the family.
Yeah.
Okay,
Totally.
so what do you guys do and what works?
Go ahead, Amy.
Okay, so what I do is I go grocery shopping with the kids on Sunday, and I'm like, okay, we're
Oh,
gonna get
brave
groceries.
woman.
I'm an in and out, so they
Okay.
know like mommy's got boundaries. We're not asking for 1,000 things.
Mm,
I will get you like one of each of the snacks that you guys like, but like here's our list kind of thing. So,
that's
um,
fun.
so yeah, so we'll go grocery shopping together. And then like I'll start to like prep a little bit and I kind of because they're 7 and 3, like I start to include them more and they want to actually help.
Mm,
So I find that's been helpful. And then from a business side of things, when the kids go to bed, like I kind of love that time on Sunday night. I'll like sit on the
mm.
couch. My husband's probably trying to watch TV, but ends up falling asleep on the couch.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And I look at like my week. I'm like, okay, what calls do I have? What projects do I need to be working on? Okay, what can I work on in my business? Okay, what needs to like be pushed aside and stuff like that. So I start to prioritize things and then I look
Mm,
at like, is this going to add to my plate right now? Like I should be
mhm,
sending out an email newsletter. You know what? I actually don't have capacity right now to send that out. So like
mm,
I'm going to push that to next week when I have more space to do that and not
mhm.
schedule anything in next week during that time. So I found for
Right.
me that's been like helpful doing that.
That's so good.
Nice.
I definitely don't take my kids grocery shopping. But so
You
what
boys.
I'll yeah, oh
See, I got
gosh.
2 girls, so that's like Not
Different
that
vibes.
it's different
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah.
Not easier, but
No, but
it's just
different vibes.
your girls sound lovely. Okay,
Not, they're not. They are, but they're not.
so like what I've been doing lately is like I get my husband to go do the grocery shopping. So like on Friday, I wish it was organized and had like a spreadsheet. Like some people have a spreadsheet, like these are things are out, these are things are not. But anyways, like these are the things we need. It's usually like protein, veggies, whatever carbs and stuff we need. And he just
More
goes,
protein.
yeah, more protein and more steak. I'm like, go get some more steak. So I get my husband to do the groceries. And then instead of having like a whole day or a few hours with the meal prep, I'll do like a little bit on Friday night. I'll do a little bit on Saturday morning. And if I need to do extra, I can do it Sunday evening. But I get it. Like I also don't want to be spending hours doing the prepping and the planning. So I do like a little bit here and there. So like Friday for an hour because I don't like when I'm not prepared for the weekend. And then if there's anything else left to do, it's a little bit Saturday or Sunday. And then with the business, yeah, like I live by my Google Calendar. So for me, I'm better either first thing in the morning on Sunday, or if it doesn't happen, it's happening after the boys go to bed. And I'll just go over it. I'm always like, okay, when am I doing my workouts? Because that kind of changes. I'm trying to keep it a set time. What appointments do I have? Who do I need to reply to? Like who needs a new program? So I'll do like 30 to 45 minutes on Sunday night if I didn't do it in the morning. So yeah, that's what I do. It's nothing fancy. And sometimes it doesn't happen, but I don't beat myself up. If I didn't meal prep Sunday, I guess I gotta do it Monday, right? Like it's not like the week is gone to hell if I didn't do my meal prep. But like, okay, well, you gotta do it sometime. So like if you're away on the weekend, like I used to be so extreme, like you'd spend like 3 hours prepping all the food, and if you didn't, then your whole week's gone to shit. So it's like, okay, you were away this weekend, you're too tired, get up, and then you're just gonna do it the next day. But definitely like taking at least 30 minutes to do like looking at my calendar is what I do. Make sure I have all the kids like spirit days sorted out and
God.
there's so many right
Like
now.
the end of the
There's like
year.
everything.
Day,
oh my gosh.
Disney Day. I'm like, I
Disney
got
Day.
nothing. Like carry Mickey Mouse to school with you. Okay. That's your costume. But yeah, that's what I do. And again, we go through different seasons in life where I'm not super consistent and good with that. But holy shit, I notice a difference when I don't take that like 1 hour to sit down and figure out what we're eating. Is there food ready? Am I all my appointments set up? So yeah, like if I don't do it, like I'm spinning my wheels. So that's why I'm in a season now where like things are all good to go. So we have those like boundaries around planning that time. And just making sure there's always protein ready.
Yeah. Mondays just hit differently too,
Yeah,
right? Because you've like set yourself up. I feel like it makes a big difference. I'm not opposed, like I've thought about ordering HelloFresh again too, because then I'm not having to like think, or we have like a fresh market here. So like with pre-made meals. So
Yeah, I
I'm
like
like,
that.
sometimes I'll just like grab that too. So, I don't know, my kids
whatever.
fight every meal, I feel like. So I'm like, at least if I'm eating something and my husband's eating something, then
winning.
we'll figure it out for them kind of thing. But
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is just like, and like sometimes I think for me, we're away on the weekends so much that I don't do it enough. Whereas if we are away that often, then I probably just have to fit it in while we're away and just make it a priority. Because I do notice a difference too. Because I'll be like the anxiety and like all those things on a Monday.
Feel behind.
Feeling behind.
Or even like, because I know your husband like travels a lot for work, and mine travels like at times. I think less your husband travels sometimes too.
Yeah, during volleyball season for sure.
Yeah. So I'm even wondering too, like, is it possible when you guys are gone away for the weekend, you're like, can we come home like an hour earlier to like get some stuff done too? Like, is that even like an option for you guys too?
I try and maximize the time away. I get that.
Yeah.
I know.
The struggle's real.
I know. We're not alone.
Definitely not. So one of the things I want to talk about too is I know how we became like connected online, and then we really bonded over like the box boat retreat, which was amazing. So shout out to Christina and Jeanette because that was so good.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
I feel like we were all just
Yeah.
like, you show up and we're like, oh, all of our meals are being made for us.
I know.
Don't tell me anything else. Like, that's all I need to know.
I get
Well,
my own
and like
room.
I
Oh my
get my
God.
own
Yeah.
room and the weekend's planned. Like I didn't have to think about what am I
Yeah.
gonna do. Like yeah, the only thing I had to think about is like what do I want to share like about my
Yeah.
business and like what support, right?
Yeah,
But
that
like
was
from like a
stressful. Yeah.
that was stressful from like a personal I find that stressful because I'm always like, oh, what am I like what direction do I want
Yeah.
to go in, right? So
Mhm.
Oh, I feel relaxed thinking about it.
I know.
I
That was like the
know.
most
Ah,
nurturing
ah.
retreat ever.
Are you
It
guys
was
going
so
to the
good.
next one? I can't go to the next one. Are you guys
I
going?
can't either.
I can't
Mm.
either, so I'm super
Yeah.
bummed about that.
I
But
know.
that was gonna be one of my questions too, is like how because I
Mm.
have FOMO and I see like all
Mhm.
these amazing like events and opportunities coming up, and I know so many other entrepreneurs feel that way too. I'm like, how do you guys decide like
Oh
which
gosh.
event to go to, like what not to go to? Because like I feel like you learn a little bit of everything and like grow your business personally and professionally like by attending these events, but like financially and time wise, like
Mm.
you can't attend
Yeah.
everything. So like
Yeah,
what do you
especially
guys
with
do?
kids.
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
actually just I saw a reel that I had saved because I went to my very first like mastermind a year
Mm.
ago on June 20th.
Oh wow.
And
Wow.
since I'm terrible at posting on social, I was like, oh, I'll post it a year later. That will be
You
1
still
year
posted
ago.
it. You did
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
it.
done. It's ready to go.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was I think like my first big investment as an
Mm.
entrepreneur. And so at the time, I feel like now having invested in myself more, that would have been a much easier decision. But at that time, it's not even like
Mm.
it was not even like what how much I have in the bank and versus what I don't. It's like a mindset of
Yeah.
Yeah.
um like in corporate, you're not spending your own money on
Right.
investing in yourself, which like
Wow.
I think as when you kind of like attach all of that to like being a mom and like
Mm.
Yeah.
money that is for your family and all of that. So it takes a while, I feel like, to
Mm.
shift to like, no, this is an investment. It's not like spending
Yeah.
frantically on yourself or sporadically on yourself. It's
Right.
an actual investment in something. And um, I feel like so that really kickstarted something for me to be like, wow, I got in this room with these 12 other people and we all got to get up and talk about our businesses, which for me at the time was like, I don't even know what my business is, but I know I have one.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So that was scary. And like, but it really opened my eyes to like, okay, meeting people in person, the connections that you make and the things that you learn from all of these people is so impactful. So I think
Mm.
that really like kicked me in the butt in that sense to be
Mm.
like, okay, you need to keep doing these things and like
Mhm.
keep moving forward no matter what. And that doesn't mean like spending $50,000 on events and all these things every
Yeah.
year. Like everyone has their budget and can do what they can. But I really noticed how much, and I just posted something because it was my birthday a few weeks ago, and I was like,
Oh.
all of these people that like wished me happy birthday and that I was like sharing photos of, I was like, I didn't know these people a year ago.
Aw.
Right.
And
I
I
love
know
that.
all these people because I invested in myself and I went to these events. But anyway, that wasn't your question. Your question was like, how do you
Yeah.
choose?
Yeah.
So I
I-
feel like I tend to choose, I don't know, just I think as you go through everything, like you realize something's kind of missing or you need to
Yeah.
grow in a certain area.
Yeah.
Um, and you'll just kind of naturally be drawn to a specific retreat or event or workshop or
Mm.
something like that. I would say for me, I probably will aim to do like 1 to 2 actual like retreats a year
Yeah.
Nice.
because I find that one we did with like that was just that's so in depth. The
They've set the
relation,
bar real high, I feel
Oh
like.
yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh.
really high.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the amount of time, and it was very weird. Like I think that's another point is like I've gone to so many of these events by myself, buying a ticket, not
Yes.
knowing who else is
Yep.
going. And I don't do that. Like, I'm not the most outgoing person in the world. So that's not an easy decision for me to
Mm-hmm.
make.
Mm-hmm.
But I think anyone who's thinking about it and thinking, like, oh, I don't know anyone, or I don't maybe belong in that room or whatever, like, don't ever think that. No one in that room was like invited. Everyone's
Mm,
making the
true.
decision to go.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I just over the year, it's been like a bit of everything. So it's been a retreat where it was like very in depth. We all like made like really good relationships there.
Yeah.
Um, versus more of like there will be, I mean, networking events aren't such a huge investment, so that's easier to do a few of those and just
Yeah.
connect,
Yeah.
reconnect and reconnect with people,
Yeah.
and do a few workshops where it's like really doing work while you're there. So like a whole day workshop. So I just did Alex Street speaking
Oh,
Yes.
event, which
nice.
was a workshop, and it was like him
Cool.
teaching
Wow.
and us going away with what he taught us and like doing the work and then coming
Cool.
back, and that's just something that I know I want to work on.
Yeah.
And
So
so that I was
cool.
very drawn to that. And then as a follow-up, I'm doing his weekly, whatever you
Oh,
call
you
it.
signed up for the master class. I'm in
Yeah,
it too.
you are
Yay.
good.
Oh, wow. I haven't even
Yeah,
heard
see,
about
we both signed
this.
up for it. I didn't know if
Yeah.
anyone else had said yes, but I was like, this is something I need to improve on. I need to figure
Same.
out what that story is. So like,
So
it doesn't
cool.
matter who else is going. I need that. And
Wow.
make that decision. Anyway.
That's exciting.
That is
Wow.
exciting. I love
Uh,
that.
okay, if we're talking like specifically about events, I have no issues investing in business coaching. Oh my gosh, I've spent so much money on business coaching, but it was scary. The first one, it was like a massive investment. I'm like, I need this. Like, I'm going to meet other people that are in the same place I am. I need to create
Yes.
this online program. And I knew I couldn't do it myself. So that I have no issues of it. I've had business coaches now for like 7 or 8 years. I've always had a business coach. So that I don't know if it's scary. I'm like, yeah, I just definitely do it then. If I
Yeah.
feel nervous and scared. And then with events, like, is it a high vibe women's event? Great, I'll be there. But I like high vibe women. Their very first one was like the very first event I'd ever been to. You guys, like, I wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, like I wasn't going to events. I was just like I was always working too much. Like I wouldn't make the
Yeah.
time or wasn't connected with people outside of my studio. Like I've gone to like, Health and Fitness conferences. So like Can Fit Pro, I used to love going to that. And now there's one in Ottawa, but I didn't go to networking events. So that was the first one, and I found out about High Vibe through my business coach at the time, Jess DeRose, and because she recommended it, and I was like, yeah, you know what's the best, so I need to go follow her lead. So yeah, now that I've gone to those events, I'm obsessed now. So like I
So
was
good.
so sad I missed the one in March. So yeah, I for me it's like someone's referred me to it. I like sometimes look at the speakers.
Yeah.
It needs to be like people that are, you know, doing not doing the same thing as me, but like female entrepreneurs, like love being in rooms with those people. Um, so yeah, I think it's like it needs to be a referral. And of course, like it needs to work with my schedule too. So like I live in
Fair.
Ottawa, so when I go to these like
Yeah.
Burlington,
Yeah.
Kitchener things,
Kitchener.
like I gotta arrange babysitting because that's like a 6 hour drive. So
Yes.
so for me, it's like if it's local, it's less of a no-brainer, but also I don't just go because it's local. It has to be like the right crowd
Yep.
and like work with my current schedule. But yeah, the high vibe I will always prioritize. Like I'm going in October and I'm so excited.
Same.
I think we're all going.
I think we're
Yeah.
yeah.
See you there.
Amazing. See you there.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know for me, like when I left corporate and started my wellness business, one of the things I did right away was like going to all these events, networking. I even
Mm.
like created my own events. Like I just knew the power of like
Oh, wow.
community and stuff like that. And then it's funny
Mm.
because obviously COVID happened and then like everything kind of stopped. And then I started to be more mindful of like, okay, what events do I want to go to? Because I was saying yes to
Mm.
everything before.
Mm.
So now I'm like, what do I actually want to do? And I felt like I was going into rooms that like wonderful people, but they weren't necessarily my people, or like I just there wasn't the
Yeah.
connection and like the same jive that I was getting from high vibe women. So,
Mm.
yeah, I had met them through Sarah Jansel. And then it's funny because I know at the retreat we had to like go around and share like a takeaway. And I was started crying because I was like, people were just connecting and talking. And I
Aw.
just felt like I was finally like in a space that like I didn't have to pretend to be somebody else. I could show up as me. And I think that's what I was finding before is I was going
Mm.
into these spaces and I was
Yeah.
putting people on pedestals.
Mm.
And I was
Right.
also feeling like I needed, like, the fact I don't have makeup on right now doing this podcast episode, like, I would have
Mm.
never done that before. Where now I'm
Wow.
like, I'm just
Amazing.
showing up as who I am and continuing
Mm.
to grow that way. So I think
That's
for
so
me,
good.
it's like finding and being a part of like rooms that make sense and then continuing to
Yes.
stay in those rooms and building those relationships. And then like less like fitting it into my schedule, like because their next retreat was like after the event, I was like, I can't swing that like with
Right?
kids and in the middle of the week. And I was like, I feel terrible because I know how amazing it is and how
Yeah.
transformative it is. But I'm like, sometimes we have to say no to things and
Yeah.
that's okay too, right?
And we just went in January and like for me, I'm like, that's like 2 in 1. That's that would be nice, but
That would
I
be
would do
very
one a
nice.
month if I
yeah.
could, like
Yeah,
honestly.
Right?
Yes.
Oh
honestly.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. There's a few factors at play there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a huge thing is like if I get invited to something or see an event and it's like, okay, give me a month to look at my schedule and
Yeah.
rearrange everything half the time. Like there's
Yes.
so many moving parts, which makes
Yes.
it a bit tough. But
Mm.
yeah, I think Amy, you're so right with that is if people are going to events and not feeling like themselves, like
Mm.
that's okay, but just keep trying, keep going to different ones. Don't keep trying the same one. I'm not saying
Right.
like try to fit in. But yeah, I think that was a huge takeaway for all of us when we went to
Mm-hmm.
the retreat is like, it's not like, I don't know, there were 15 of us. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
15 people who knew each other came
Mm-mm.
into
No.
the room. I don't think any of us, maybe some of us knew each
Yeah.
other through
Through
like
like
online a
Instagram and
little.
stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um, that was definitely another thing I signed up for, not knowing anyone. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we all just walked in there and it was like, hey guys, like I don't
Yeah.
know. It just we
It
all felt
it
immediately like
Mm.
so
Connected.
relaxed and
It just
connected.
felt natural, yes. And I also think too, it's like how you were saying, less like surrounding
Mm.
yourself with like people that see the bigger vision for you. So like I originally
Mm-hmm.
wasn't supposed to go to the
Yeah.
retreat because it didn't fit into like our schedule. And then
Aw.
Christina messaged me being like, we had a last minute cancellation.
Wow.
I know you're meant to be in this room. Like no pressure,
Oh.
but you need to be here. Like how can you know how
Wow.
Christina is? I love her. She's like,
Yeah.
let's make this work. And I like looked at my husband. I was like, we need to rearrange everything because I need to go to this. I'm like, I was
Oh.
just thinking about how much I'm missing out on this experience and
Mm.
that we couldn't make it work with like kids and
Yeah.
life and everything. And then I was like, the fact that there's like an opening and she messaged me, I'm like, it's a
Mm.
sign from the universe. Like I'm meant to be
Yeah.
there. So I was like,
Yeah.
I messaged back. I was like, I'm in, I'll figure it out. Like the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
So
and like her seeing and having that bigger vision for like me and my business, I think makes a big difference too when you find those people, right?
oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I had a bit something very similar, like so much back and forth with Christina, which I'm sure she
Same.
really appreciated.
Me too. I'm like, I
I
can't
was
do
like,
it.
no, I really want to, but I just can't. I really, really
Yeah.
want to, but I just can't. And I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so much back and forth. And then like I think it was during the early bird, and then it was literally ending, and it was but the same situation. I just like we had things going on. That would
Mm.
have been like the biggest investment
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me just felt like that's who am I to do that? And
Mm.
then ended up having a last minute conversation with my husband. And I was like, okay, joking, I'm in. Like, I think she was
Yeah.
like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure they get that all the time because even with our own businesses, we get that with people too, right? So it's like
Yeah.
meeting people where they're at on the journey. And I think it
Yeah.
just goes to show our authenticness of like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
forcing you to do something, like the
Mm-hmm.
opportunities here. I know it would be valuable for you. And I think that's the difference in how we're building businesses too.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Totally. Yeah. I want to go back.
Yeah.
Oh, and someone
Next
to
year,
make me
next year.
food.
I
Yeah, my
know.
Sonia. Oh my goodness. I
So
follow
good.
Sonia on Instagram now. I'm like, how does she come up with all these creative ideas?
So many good
So
ideas.
cool.
Oh my
I
gosh.
tell
She's
people about her chili all the
Mm.
time.
Oh,
so good.
the cornbread.
So good.
So good.
So, how has success kind of changed for you guys since you've like
Mm.
started your business?
Oh wow.
Good
How
question.
has, yeah, great
Yeah.
question. Mm.
I would say for me, I think maybe because I'm so close to that like corporate world, which keeps getting further and further away, but I still feel like
Yeah.
it's so close.
Yeah.
Um, I spent like all of my career being like success is like climbing the ladder,
Yeah.
getting to
Mhm.
the CMO level or whatever that looks like.
And making
And that
X amount of
was,
dollars and like all the
yeah,
things that come with, yeah.
yeah, that is what success was to me. And that is totally fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then I got to this point in my life where I had these little kids. My company got acquired while I was on mat leave with my youngest. And I came back, and it was just by the time it was coming to an end that I was deciding to leave, I would be awake from 1 to 3 in the morning. I would be on vacation, working like on meetings at 7 p.m. The level of stress, because
Mm.
I knew I would never be able to get out from under the like mound of work that there
Yeah.
um, was so crazy that that's what ended up being too
Mm.
much. Because I was like, there's no way. I've tried to have conversations, and I was like, there's no way of fixing this. Like,
Yeah.
so I can't live like this. So I think all of that to say, like, it took me quite a while to transition out of
Mm.
that mindset and
Yeah.
a lot of like, who am I if that's not me? If
Yeah.
I'm not climbing the ladder in the marketing world, like, who am I? And I like,
Mm.
it's because that's what I decided success was. And now I literally had to like stop myself at some point because I was putting all of this stress on myself to like grow and comparing myself to other people. And I just stopped at one point. I'm like, if you told me a year ago that this is where I would be, especially like earlier this year, because a year ago we were like in New Zealand and coming back, and I was like,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure I know what I want to do, but there's so much of it is new. But so if you had told me then that this is where it would be at, I would be like, thank the Lord, because
Mm.
I'm running a business where I'm able to be with my kids. And
Mm.
that was a huge part of me leaving corporate because I was like,
Yeah.
I was getting the kids up, feeding them, getting them off to daycare or school,
Yeah.
picking them up as late as I could, feeding them and getting them to bed as early as I could. And I just broke down to my husband. I was like,
Mm.
they're going to be 15 years old and I'm not going to know
Mm.
where the time went. And I just
Yeah.
like was bawling my eyes out. I'm like, that's not what I
Oh.
want. So
Yeah.
now
Oh, good for you.
success to me is like, and I have to keep bringing myself back to that because
Yes.
to me, like for me and this stage of my life, like these kids are going to be this age for so long, like only so long. So
Yeah.
that's what I have defined as success to be able to run this business, take on as much or as little as I want or need,
Yeah.
and then be able to spend the time with my kids and enjoy that time. So,
Mm.
um, I think that as my kids grow up and as things change and my business grows, like that will all shift. But like as of right now, that's what it is. And I'm doing that. So that's what I need. Continually being like,
It's
chill
awesome.
out.
I know, and I've done that
Mm.
myself too, where you've reached that and you're like, okay, well now I need the next thing. It's like,
Yeah.
why can't we
Mm.
just enjoy where we're at
Yeah.
right now? And like
Yeah.
I used to sit at my corporate desk wishing for this life, and I have this life, and now I'm
Exactly.
like, okay, let's go on to the next thing. Like, you're so right. Like, embrace the journey of where you're at right now with your kids for sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like similar. So success for me was like working morning till night, like training every single client and making like so much money, and then having time to do like just fitting in all the things all the time, being everything to everyone. So that was my like kind of success meter, where now it's like I can take a week off and my business still runs, right? Like now that I have
Yeah.
people helping me and I'm like working to like train less people, so I'm not working from like 6 in the morning till 8 at night. So the fact that I can work from 6 to 1, like have other people covering, either when I'm there or not there. So just not having to work a million hours a day
Yeah.
and still making a really good living and helping people even if it's not me helping them. So it's that delegation and being able to like scale and grow my business without me being the one doing all the work. And it's something I'm still, working on, especially if I get like referrals from other clients who's like friends want to train specifically with me. I have to be like, I'm no longer taking clients or there's a wait list. But
Yeah.
old Leslie would like find a way to fit them in, like
Yeah.
come in early or like,
Don't want to
so
disappoint anyone or turn anyone away. So I better like
no,
sacrifice. We talked
miss
about boundaries at the
people
beginning. Like,
pleaser.
yeah, that
Yeah.
too.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it better. No one else can get these people what they want the way I can. So yeah, for me, and like even yesterday we had like a team meeting and like who am I right now that there's like these girls that I'm like teaching them how to train the prime standard of training. Like it's
So
Amazing.
cool.
crazy. It's still extremely uncomfortable. I'm like, you're doing a great job, but here are some suggestions to create some more consistency in the studio. So that to me is just crazy, but yeah. So that is how I define success, is being able to like not be working all day and still able to have a profitable, successful, thriving business. So, and I think for me, it's like having a regulated nervous system
Oh, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Oh,
is
that's
Yeah.
yep.
woo,
That's top of the list
success.
there. Yep.
Yeah, so making that a priority, so like my peace and my calm and my health. And I used to think I was doing it all right all the time in the past, but it really wasn't great. So yeah, for me it's making peace with you can't do all the things. And it's okay to ask for help, and them doing it, even if it's not the way you would do it, it's still getting done and you're still serving and helping people. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Hmm.
I
love
think kind of
that.
adding to that too, like we're all here to live. Like,
Hmm.
we're not, even when I was in corporate, anyone on my team that wasn't taking their vacation, I'm like, take your
Mm,
vacation. You still have
yes.
vacation left. I would
Yeah.
every single year take the every last drop of my vacation.
Good for you.
And it just, life is too short.
Yes.
So make
Agreed.
sure you're trying new things. Make sure
Hmm.
you're traveling if you like to do
Yes.
that. Whatever you like to do, make time for it. Like
Yeah.
that's a huge part of success, is like, are we doing
Yes.
those things?
Hmm.
Yes. Are we having fun in life? Are we adding
Yeah.
Yeah.
more joy? Like, are we doing stuff for ourselves? Are we doing stuff with the kids? Like, all of that, right? I think that's
Yeah.
such a big key piece. No, I agree. And
Yes.
even just adding to like my success when I first started my like leaving, was I felt like I was in like a proving position of like, I need to prove
Mm,
to everyone I left
Yeah.
right.
corporate that like I can make
Right.
this work and I can make this business and I can make more money than I made at corporate when in a job that I hated. And then COVID happened and threw all that shit out the window. So
Oof.
so then it
Fucking
was like
COVID.
frig. So then to be honest, it wasn't until like 2023 that I started to have to like
Mm,
check myself and be like, wait a minute, you're living your version of success. You're not waking
mm,
up anxious every day because you're doing something you
mm,
don't like. You're spending time with your kids. I'm walking my kids to school. I'm like, the fact that I get to
mm.
like go walk them to school and not have to like drop them off and rush out the door. I'm like, this is
Yes.
huge. This feels so like amazing.
Yes.
So I feel like I'm in a season where I've been like enjoying that version of success. And now I'm
Mm.
like, okay, now what's the next? I'm ready for like the next version of like what
Yeah.
that looks like, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
exciting.
are you in the middle of deciding what that looks like for
I
you?
am, but I'm trying not to force it. I'm still trying
Yeah.
to be
Mm,
like, enjoy the journey and let things unfold because I think in the
Hmm.
mm.
past I'm such like a type A person and I'm like, I need to plan and I need to know and I need to have these set
Yeah.
goals. And it's good to have goals, but it's also good to like live and then
Hmm.
knowing that you're making choices in alignment with like the direction you want to go kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The
Hmm.
yeah.
maintenance phase.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
entrepreneurship has tested my type A personality a
Mm.
lot.
Oh my God.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
just want to like shake that
In a
crystal
good
ball and be
way.
like, if
Yeah.
I make this
Yeah,
decision, like, am I going down
definitely
the
a good
right
way.
path or am I going to like blow
Mm.
my whole life and business up right now if I make this decision? Like, where's that magic ball?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
true.
But yeah, I think it's tested in like such a good way that it's
Yeah.
it's made me more open to, yeah, like letting things happen and trusting your gut on things and not just
Yeah.
always having this like plan that's perfectly
Mm.
laid out. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
agree.
So true.
so good.
It's definitely a work in progress though.
Yes.
And so like I can catch myself going back to old Leslie once where I'm like, okay, bringing it back in. Remember,
Yeah.
remember those boundaries and those conversations you had with your business coach and your business friends, how you're going to do things differently, because it feels so much better when you're doing it this way. So yeah, I can very easily go back to the old
Mhm.
habits real quick. Yeah.
Definitely. I can feel
Yeah.
that. So, I feel like we could talk forever, but kind of for our
Totally.
listeners here too. So, what are maybe some things you're kind of planning and prepping for like the summer for like business and stuff? Because, what does that look like? Because I know as moms, like we've got camps, we've got kids home now. So, like, we're
Yeah.
now, our workload just got like increased that much more now with summer coming.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like I was joking with someone that I'm bracing for some
It's a good word.
because I think
Yeah.
this is going to be the first summer where like my husband is traveling and it's like international trip. So he's like
Wow.
gone for quite a decent amount of time sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I do have kids in camp.
Okay.
Um, but I'm trying to like with clients, like especially like fractional clients, look at my calendar and their calendar. And like literally we're looking into September to
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
when are you away? When am I away? And
Same.
depending on most people I feel are pretty laid back about it. And I'll just be like, if we have two meetings a week, like we might just have to like move one, but kind of
Yeah.
prepping for that and like having those conversations and moving stuff in advance if I need to. Um, but yeah, I don't I don't know if I have any great advice for people right now because I feel like I'm just about to get hit with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think something I will implement, like what we were talking about earlier, is try to do those Sundays, and especially if
Yeah.
like my
Yep.
husband is leaving, like
Yeah.
have sit down and be
Yes.
like, okay, how can we prep for this week so
Yep.
I'm not like reacting to
Dying.
everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that will be huge.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mhm. Good.
For me, yeah, also same thing, going over like client schedules and like I usually take a week off in July, a week off in August. This is something I've done for the last few years. So coordinating with my trainers, like, okay, can you cover these clients? And then talking about my client schedules, when are you off? And uh, like with the kids are in some camps. They're in grandma and grandpa camp for 1 week. And
Love that.
something I want to do is like I want to enjoy summer more now because
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
Yes.
so like I'm like sitting now, okay, what are the different like beaches I want to go to, the different like festivals. Like I generally actually want to enjoy summer this year instead of like
Yeah.
crashing on the weekends and just, so I'm
Yeah.
trying like not over planning. Like I literally like to have relaxing weekends too. So I'm trying to plan so that we can have some fun and not just like camp, work, weekend.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm looking at doing is how can we plan a little bit of fun, maybe like a weekend road trip. Um, so yeah, talking with clients about schedules, talking to my trainers about their schedules. Like right now, we're talking about like July, August, and September. And then also just it's gonna be a little bit chaotic. I wish there was like a magic formula
Hmm.
that I follow, but really it's just taking it a week at a time. But also like the priority is like I want to have a little bit of fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Something you just said actually just
yeah.
clicked with me, which is
Mm.
hilarious because you're like, I'm taking a week in July and a week in August off. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Right? Come on,
Like,
Lauren.
what am I
Yes.
doing?
Do it. Everyone else
Yeah,
does it.
Because
absolutely.
we
I'm taking,
literally
yes.
we have the kids in camps for 5 weeks and then there's
Yeah.
3 weeks and I'm
Yes.
already stressing about them because I'm like, they're gonna be home. Is my husband gonna be gone? Oh my
I
God.
know.
I'm like, or I could just take them
Take the
off.
week.
Right?
Yes.
That's what I'm doing. And I try and
Yes.
That's
coordinate around my
hilarious.
clients when my clients are off. I'm like, well, you're at the cottage or you're in wherever you are. So every year I kind of take note of when my clients are off and then I try and plan my week off when they're not around. So like we're all just, enjoying summer breaks together. So yeah, I do it for childcare, obviously, but also for me too. So having those planned 2 weeks, one in July, one in August, is something I have done the last few years, and it makes a huge difference.
Love that.
Yeah, so definitely
Love
do that,
that.
Lauren.
Yes,
Yeah.
Lauren.
You just
Yeah.
You
decided.
just changed my summer.
Yay! See, we needed this call.
We did. This is amazing. And
What do you
even
do,
That's so
Amy?
funny.
yeah, so I'm taking a week off in July and a week off in August, which is like the first time for me doing that. Because
Mm.
normally I would only take like 1 week and then I'd have guilt. I need to work
I
and, you know,
know.
do all the things. So yeah, so I'm excited to take 2 weeks off. And then even like with my kids, so one's still in daycare. So like
Oh,
we've got
nice.
her off for like the time we're off. And then
Lovely.
the other one, I only have her in camp for 4 weeks right now. So I'm like, I still need to figure out the rest, but I'm also like, I'm okay with like not
Yeah.
having, I feel like she's always planned and scheduled for like everything. So I'm
Yeah.
also kind of okay with her having some
Hmm.
I love that.
downtime and like maybe we'll do
Yeah.
some play dates with friends. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
see if we don't have grandparents, like it's an hour drive for us to see grandparents, but I'm like, maybe grandparents can like take her for a couple of days or
Totally
something
they
like that,
can.
right? Or maybe there's a last minute camp that I'm like, let's put you in camp this week or for like a couple
Yeah.
of days. I just want to have a bit more like flexibility, I feel like, with our son
Yeah.
here
Oh,
too.
you know what you do?
So
You drive your kids to the grandparent. My parents are
fair.
3 hours away, and I'm like, can we meet halfway? Meet in a Walmart parking lot, do a little switcheroo.
Super.
That's what we
Go get your
do.
groceries at the Walmart parking lot after you just drop the kids off.
Honestly,
Oh my God.
they will love that. Just set it up now.
Yeah,
Something we've
totally.
talked about doing too is just that simple, like, okay, let's sit down,
Mhm.
figure out 20 ideas that we want to do.
Yeah,
It
the
could
bucket
be
Oh,
something as
list.
fun.
little as a hike or not for the kids.
Yes.
But like
They don't
anyways,
love the
and
hikes.
bike to get ice cream or whatever it is.
Yes.
Oh, I
So
want to
that
do
we're
that
not
too.
like, if we get to a point where like we're bored, like,
Mhm.
okay, let's go pick something and do
Pull out
it.
the list. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if that works.
Oh, that's a
I'm
great
doing
idea.
that too, a bucket
Yeah,
list. Yeah.
putting that in. Or even like I'm just picturing like putting it in a jar and be like,
Yeah.
okay, let's
Mm,
pull it out and like
Yeah, that's what we're
oh,
doing
cool.
that's
so that it's
yeah,
like a surprise.
Oh,
surprise.
I
Love
love
that. I
that.
want to do that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks, Lauren.
Trying to be excited about it too. Like it's so easy to get like stress. It's 9 weeks, right? Last year was 10
Yeah.
weeks. This year's 9. So it's trying to like enjoy because the weather, like we don't get weather like this for longer than a few
No, we
months.
don't.
So
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to enjoy as chaotic as it can be, trying to like just focus on the positive sides of summer. And like how do I want my kids to remember summer? They want like a stressed out mom
True.
or right? So like I'm like when I think back, like what are my memories of summer and how can I make some sweet memories for my kids too? So that's why I started taking those
Yeah.
2 weeks off. Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
love that.
camp's great too, but like they love camp, but also like I love seeing them too. Because there's gonna be in a few summers, and I hate saying this, but they're not gonna want to hang out with us.
I know.
So
It's
I
true.
know.
They're going to want to do all
yeah,
stuff or they're not going to want to go away because they're going to want to be with their friends. And
yeah,
I know it's true.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, but no, this is amazing, ladies. I so enjoyed this. I never know what we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about, but this was fantastic, helpful for me too.
Me too.
I know. I
You've
feel
like
like so
reframed my summer.
so
Great.
hopefully for our listeners, this has helped you reframe your summer as well too. So
Mm,
I will be sure to include in the show notes how people can connect with Lauren and Leslie as well. And yeah, I'd love to do this again in September and
yes, let's do
reconnect
Yeah.
and share what we've learned and
Yeah, how
like
this summer went, if it
what
went like we thought.
exactly. Did we stick with the plan? Had
Yeah.
no plan? What did we do? Right. So
Yeah.
yes, but thank you guys so much for being here. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for
Oh,
having
thanks,
us.
Amy. This is great. Thank you so much.